In this video, I'll take a look at the unicorn's horn in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight and also discuss where you should place the unicorn horn in your adventure. Hi, my name is Eventyr Games, Games, the best-selling publisher of DM's resources for official published adventures, including the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. There will be a link to those DM's resources in the description. So as mentioned at the start in this video, I want to talk about the unicorn's horn in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. The unicorn horn plays an important role in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. We're even told so in the start of the adventure in the Into the Feywild chapter, where the unicorn horn is described as being very important to the story. And we're also given some options about where to place it in the adventure, but we're not told exactly what it does. The first time the players will hear about the unicorn's horn is when Mr. Light gives them a farewell admonition to go find the alicorn, which is just the fancy way of saying unicorn's horn. And that's about all the players will know about this horn as they go from the Witchlight Carnival to hither. Now, as you read through the book, you'll find out eventually what the unicorn horn is for, as will the players if they speak to the right NPCs. But the fact that we're not told what the unicorn horn does at the start of the adventure is also something that I criticized in my review of the adventure. Now, when you do read through the book, you'll discover that the unicorn horn belongs to a unicorn named Elidon, and this unicorn horn was taken and used to free Sibylna, the Archfey, in the Palace of Heart's Desire. The unicorn horn can also be used to free Sibylna from imprisonment and is actually one of only 2 ways the characters can accomplish this. Anyway, so knowing that the characters will likely want to have the unicorn horn as they explore the Palace of the Heart's Desire, the question now is, where should they be able to find this horn? Now, the adventure suggests that you just roll at random, picking from 8 locations that are described at the start of the book. In my opinion, I wouldn't want them to find them before they've actually heard about it, and I don't think that Mr. Light's offhand remark to find the alicorn is enough of a foreshadowing of this unicorn horn. The first time they'll have an opportunity to discover this, if you go by the book, is when they meet Lamorna the unicorn at the Wayward Pool in Tither. I also think it would be a bit too weak or too easy for the characters to be told about the alicorn as they travel from Witchlight Carnival to hither and then instantly discover it maybe a session or 2 later. So in my opinion, I don't think the characters should be able to find the unicorn horn before they have traveled to hither and Tither respectively. 4 options we're left with then are the Peritons at the Fey Beacons in Yarn, Skilla, a warlock from the League of Malevolence in Motherhorn, Shun the Librarian in the Palace of Heart's Desire, and Ygritte the Quasit in Palace of Heart's Desire as well. Leaving the unicorn horn with the Periton means that Scabatha simply dropped the unicorn horn as he was traveling across Yarn, which I think is serviceable but not a very good reason for the Periton to have the unicorn's horn. Leaving it with Skilla makes more sense to me. She was sent out to find the unicorn's horn, and she may have found it, stolen it from Scabatha, and then decided to defect from the League of Malevolence and decide to move to Motherhorn in Yarn, where she now resides, still holding on to the unicorn's horn. She doesn't want the horn to end up with the League of Malevolence. She doesn't want to do Kellic any favors, and she also doesn't want to free Sibylna, as she has a good thing going with Endelyn Moongrave and so on. I think it's quite realistic that Skilla would have a unicorn horn but not do anything with it. Then there's Shun the Librarian. Once again, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. On one hand, he's trying to help the League of Malevolence research how to free someone from the stasis, and he's also well aware that they're looking for the unicorn horn, so it doesn't make sense why he wouldn't either have been discovered or the unicorn horn would have been taken from him, or he wouldn't have tried to use it himself, or at least made some sort of effort. So leaving it with Shun the Librarian doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Then there's Ygritte, this Quasit that can be found in a tower well at the end of the Palace of the Heart's Desire, and I think that makes a bit more sense because the cowardly Ygritte could have stolen the unicorn's horn and then fled up to the tower and is now too afraid to use it. The one issue I have with this is that the letters the characters can find to and from the various hags in Motherhorn and Loomlurk describe that Scabatha had the horn but then lost it. So if Scabatha had the horn, how did it end up with the Quasit Ygritte? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's something that could be worked around or maybe doesn't need to be mentioned. So out of the 4 options, I think that Skilla and Ygritte definitely make the most sense for where the unicorn horn could be. And of the 2, I think that Skilla is my favorite. Story-wise, it makes a whole lot of sense. You don't have to change a lot. And it also gives the characters a way to discover who has the horn as they get to the Palace of Heart's Desire if they haven't picked it up already. So they could arrive there, find out that the League of Malevolence sent Skilla to find a unicorn's horn, and they'll maybe remember, oh yeah, we met Skilla back in Mother Horn, so maybe she has the horn if they're still looking for it at that point. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the unicorn horn in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. If you like this video and want to see more content for the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also support us over at patreon.com/eventyr, where we are publishing D&D content every week. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot left to say, except thank you for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one.